Good morning, everyone. My name is Jim Townsend, and I'm with the Center for a New American Security, or CNAS. And I spent about 35 years of my life working on NATO and Europe in the Pentagon. So it is a great pleasure for me personally to be here for the 75th anniversary of NATO, and a real personal feeling for me to be here with my good friend and the Supreme Allied Commander of Transformation, General Philippe Levine. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you very much to be here, and it's so important to have this 75th anniversary in Washington, where the treaty was signed.
Absolutely, and the weather is pretty hot here, and I'm wondering, back in the day, was it as hot for them as it is for us today?
Oh, I don't know, but it's the same weather I've got in Norfolk, Virginia, where I'm living. So it's and I've got no jet lag. So I'm the local man of this summit.
Well, that's a great position to be in.
Yeah.
And just based on what you said about being in Norfolk, you've been there for 3 years as the SAC-T, as the Supreme Allied Commander Transformation. And a lot of you probably know SAC-T, or ACT, Allied Command Transformation in Norfolk, is in charge of keeping the alliance looking forward and keeping the alliance in a state of transformation to make sure we don't get mired in the past and that we're always alert for the threat coming in the future and how to handle it. So, General, my first question for you is, you've been there 3 years. What's your takeaway from that posting there in Norfolk? Besides eating fried food and Southern cuisine, what's your takeaway from your time as ACT?
Yeah, thank you very much for this question, very important question. But back to what is ACT, what we are doing is, you know, we love acronyms in NATO. It's Allied Command Transformation, but I pitch ACT with the A for anticipation. What is the new reality? What are the drivers of change for tomorrow? And of course, then we have to propose to the nations and to NATO how to keep the edge. Because the aim of transformation, the aim of all this is to keep the edge in order to protect our 1 billion people, in order to preserve peace and stability. So anticipation, and then concept to capabilities. We can talk about cognitive warfare, multi-domain operation, digital transformation, to capabilities, because at the end we need capabilities for our warfighters. And of course, 95% of the capabilities are developed by the nations. So it's why I'm sort of chef d'orchestre, manager of the team, in order to say to each nation, hey, you have to produce this effect. And so then they have to deliver the capabilities. I'm building 5% of the capabilities, which is the glue of it. And the T of ACT is super important, and is the most important, is the talents. Because we need skills, we need the right skill, we need the right people, we need the people to be trained in and exercised to be able to keep the edge. So 3 years, wow, it has gone so fast. But 3 years, my perception is, when I jump into this job, NATO was strong to have this team, strong to have this type of processes, exercising. But today, NATO is stronger, and tomorrow NATO will be even stronger than today. Why? Because we have refocused. We have refocused on collective defense, which means more able to deter, be stronger in our defense. Of course, we can talk about, and I'm sure that Chris Cavalier has talked already about, operational plan, C2, command and control, and forces. But we are also, we've got plans to tackle the future of the challenge of the future. So we will be stronger, and we are stronger with 2 new allies. When I arrived in these 3 years, I've made 3 military integration: North Macedonia, Finland, and then Sweden.
It's fabulous.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous. And we are stronger because our nations, our political authorities are committed on defense and deterrence. They are, and it was said, committed with more defense spending, 23 nations above 2%. So that's what I'm taking from these 3 years. But the big thing is, it's good to have 75th anniversary, but we need to protect our future. We need to continue to keep the edge. And the new reality is what I say, it's more faster everywhere, interconnected. So how to deter in this new world? How to keep the edge? We need to produce more, not only capabilities, but more training, more interoperability. And the way we are going to do that is through a multi-domain operation alliance enabled by this necessary digital transformation.
Well, that's a lot. I think I have 1,000 questions, and I'm sure you all do out there in the audience as well. But let me ask you something about industry, because I know that's a very important part of what you do. It's something that a lot of people think about when they think about NATO, but it's become really important now for the U.S. Defense industry and those industries in Europe as well to work together to try to help you deliver on the future, develop those capabilities. So as you leave now at the end of your 3 years, do you see the relationships between NATO and industry and the transatlantic industrial relationship? Is that now more cooperative, helping out to try to help us face the future? Are you seeing progress?
Yes, I've seen progress, but it's not only this community of interest. We are working with other community of interest, academia, young people, research lab. We've got MOU with different labs either in Europe or in US, Johns Hopkins University, MIT, etc., etc. So I think it's all this world has to work more and more collaboratively in order to propose, to help us to get at the pace, but also at the scale what we need. Because as I say, we need more and faster. And so of course there are. If I'm taking the example of space. Space is, and especially the new space. We need the civilian, the private sector in order to help us to build either our situation, our space domain awareness. We need it for high connectivity, low latency for autonomous system. We need for the new command and control we are going to deliver. We need to work. But how to do that? It's by opening our military exercises, training, experimentation, brainstorming. We have to be all of us around the table. And yes, we have done some progress, but there are so much things to do again. So I'm very confident. There is a way, there is a will, so we will succeed.
Well, let me ask you a question about the future. Based on what you just said, you've got a pretty good idea of what NATO still needs to do and the work ahead. As you look at turning over your command to your successor, what would you advise your command about your vision of the future and your vision of what NATO needs to be doing to handle the future? Where should the priorities be? What are the characteristics that your successor needs to take into consideration?
So I think that we've got already a lot of things on the table, and we after this the political guidance we received in 2023 with my brother in arms, General Chris Cavoli, we put on the table what do we need. So it's on the table. And so nations know what we have to do. But the question is how to do it. For example, when I'm talking about digital transformation, data centricity, data is the fuel of tomorrow. I will tell him, well, military, we have to continue to do a lot of things. Training, exercising, thinking about the future and translating in requirement. But we have also to work with our political authorities to share more the data in order to be stronger together, for example. I will say him, continue to work with the civilian society because, for example, resilience is, we've got a huge interdependency between military resilience and civilian resilience. If I'm talking about cognitive warfare and misinformation and disinformation, it's an all society approach. So I will say to him, work and be sure that everybody is working together, because it's not only a military solution, it's a all society approach we need to have.
Well, General, we're running out of time, but I just want to say that what you just said makes me very much want to come back into government and work for you at ACT. But you're going to be moving on, and we're going to miss you very much. I know ACT will, and I know NATO headquarters will. And I look forward to hearing more from you in the future as you go on to your next assignment and take on the future from wherever you end up within the French military.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. It was a great honor, but also, as you see in my face, a great pleasure. And I will keep going to serve and to protect our future.
Well, I'll send you some fried seafood
Yeah.
next year because I know you'll miss it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great to see you.
Thank you.